the organizers for this opportunity to participate in this wonderful workshop. My name is Emanuel. Today I will talk about this recent project, a single active ring model with velocity self-alignment. I was part together Professor Leonardo Brunet and Professor Heitor Fernandes from Universidade Federal do Rio Grande do Sul. And the context, oops. The context of this work is how to model biological systems like flock of birds, school of fish, bacterial colony, cells in tissues, all systems formed by entities which can take energy from environment and move by themselves. A simple way to represent these entities is using active particles. These particles can take energy and use it to move in a given direction and polarity direction. This process is well described by a set of overdamped equations to the velocity, which has two terms. One term, we take into account the activity of the particle, describe this polarity direction, and another one, which take into account this interaction between different particles with modeled systems. So the polarity direction changes in time in this simple model with white noise fluctuations, which define a typical percent time, which is the time which the particle change their directions. But in the context of cell dynamics, for example, another term is necessary when self-alignment torque, which take into account the one property of the cells which can orient our polarity to the velocity, scattering velocity, which this process conduces the system. Show the video. No. Conduce the system to present collect motion. And this kind of model becomes famous in the activity systems models. And you use it to form one extended particle, connect these particles, which I have the motivator to take into account cell shape and surface tension, which is a property important in the context of tissue formation and cell segregation. So we present this new model and connect these particles in the ring. We're using bond potential. And to take into account the rigidity of the ring, we use a bending potential, which control this bend angle between different neighbor particles in the ring. And the total energy is the sum of these terms, and another one which take into account the repulsive terms to avoid that the particles pass each other. So we have here the overdamped equations, and we can define dimensional control parameters. We have this one which controls the activity of the system, and another one which controls the coupling between polarity and velocity. So, the important thing, we found in this model to a set of values of our parameters for different states of motion. The first one, one person random walk motion, which the particles in the ring are moving randomly. Second one, we found one run station, one translational motion, which the particles in the ring align our velocity, and the ring move with velocity alignment. And one rotational motion, where the ring rotates along of all dynamic. And finally, another state. The first state is the ring can run, and along the time start to rotate like this. And the ring turn between these two states along of all dynamics. So, it's funny. So, to quantify the systems, we define a collective order parameter, which it's formed by two other collective order parameters. One translational order parameter and another one rotational order parameter, which can quantify vortex motion and polarization motion and to random motion in the velocity fields. So we can define and quantify these two kinds of collective motions, and we run simulations. Here is the time series of this order parameters, and we see in the run state the systems the order parameter of the translation motion is near to 1. When the system rotates, the order parameter of the rotation motion is near to 1. When the system is a person random walk, both parameters is close to 0. And when we have this state of run and motion, the order parameters turn to 0 and 1 along of this dynamics. So using this time series and stationary values of this order parameters, we map the systems. We construct this diagram of you change the control parameters, the activity, the Peclet number, and the coupling of the systems. And we find out two different regions, which depends on the size of the system, but it doesn't matter how. Now, we have a region of no collective motion, a region of collective motion, and to describe this dynamics, describe this state of motion, we use this fluctuation of the order parameters, because when we have in run and rotate, the fluctuation is low, but when we have run and rotate, we have high fluctuation, and we identify this behavior in the phase diagram. And when we have the collect motion, we can have a run or rot, and this state is a metastable state, which depend on the initial conditions. So depend on the initial condition, we have run, or we have rotating motion. So we study in this project to the diffusion through the trajectory of these 4 different states, and we use it to measure this and mean square displacement, which we have an analytical result when the coupling of the self-element torque is close to 0, or tau is higher. So we have this analytical result, which presents in short times a ballistic behavior, in long times you have a diffusive behavior. So when we measure this mean squared displacement for our simulation for these four states of motion, we see same behavior of our analytical result, but with effective parameters. So the time scales change in the percent time and the diffusion constant change, but we can fit effective mean square displacement in this case, and from that we can measure this diffusion constant when we have alignment, or when we don't. The system, the active ring is without alignment term, and measure the diffusion constant. We can see the influence of the coupling in this process, and we see that in context when the coupling is the tau is higher or the coupling is low, the systems, the diffusion present decrease with the mass of the ring. But when we increase the coupling, we found a transition which the system, diffusion of the system increase with the mass. This is an amazing result because classic system of the particles, the diffusion constant decay with the mass. But we have here a collect effect of the model which produce another behavior. And in our context, we published this paper in some matter. There are other results in here, and we are apply this model to study segregation by surface differential surface tension, and this is the importance to use extended model to make that. So in third, how much? So by 15 minutes, that's it. So, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, you have more time because of the missing talks if you want to continue. Okay, any questions?
So thank you, Emanuel. In the model with many rings, the dynamics of each ring is exactly the same as before, or have you changed anything?
In this case, it's a little different. We changed the band potential, this potential here. To control the rigidity of the ring, and we changed in the case where we have many rings, we use an area potential which controls the area of the ring. We just do that, so little difference.
You changed the dynamics of the ring to be more biological?
The way which we control the area of the ring, the rigidity.
So the new model is more accurate biologically in terms of cell dynamics and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And in this new version of the model, the single ring dynamics changes significantly, or?
Actually, yes, because when we have a single ring, we have meta-stable behaviors, and when we have a lot of the rings, this stable can change. So we have a little difference here, actually.
Thank you.
More questions?
Hi. When you show the videos, the last one, you're supposed to
run and rotate.
Run and rotate.
Yeah, sure.
Is there any reason why sometimes your ring runs and then it stops and then starts to rotate and like couldn't you have like a model that where the ring does both things at the same time?
You mean sorry?
Like now it's rotating.
Yeah.
Then it will start to run, but it's not rotating anymore, and then which will stop and start to rotate again.
Yeah.
And in the diagrams, you said like there was a part where you have like a run and rotate, but I'm not sure if they are doing like both things at the same time or it's like one and another, and why you have like this change of behavior.
So actually, why the system changed the states of the motion. In this paper, we discussed that because we see this behavior in another kind of systems, and basically because the systems tend to present collective motion, but the system doesn't energy enough to do that, and the systems remains in a minimum of energy, and when we increase the temperature, the system can to in the global minimal, or when we have this minimal temperature, the system is in this intermediate state and turns to between two states, two minimals, and stay stuck in these states. But when we increase the activity or temperature in this case, the system can to global minimum, which is the collective motion.
Okay, so you actually change some parameter during the simulation, and then
in this diagram here.
Yeah.
Here, in this we have temperature per kilometer, and we have coupling. When we increase the temperature, the system in this intermediate state can to run or rot, yeah. But if you don't have temperature enough, the system stay stuck in this state of the minimal energy. It's actually is that the motives which cause this kind of behavior.
Thank you.
Excuse me, following his questions of the figures that you were having, even I mean,
the videos,
in which, you know, the previous one, the movements, that one, the last one. I mean, the run and rotate. If instead of plotting the ring, and making the film of the ring, what you do is you plot the trajectory of each of them.
yeah.
But then all of them in the ring, probably you can see something similar to the way the birds fly.
Yeah, indeed.
So it's a question of how you look at the solution that you have.
I agree. I agree.
Here.
Let's talk.
Another question?
Everyone tired?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.